Here we go, guys. Happy 3rd of July, not 4th of July yet. So, a lot of people say, man, you're really psyched up, you're really motivated throughout these years. He used to make the crowd go crazy. A lot of the stuff I learned from, rest in peace, Muhammad Ali. But how to anchor people, how to put them in the proper state of mind even before teaching them was something I learned from Tony Robbins, my mentor, one of my mentors. 1992, I go to Hawaii after reading Unlimited Power and Awakening the Giant Within, and I actually win Mr. Mastery. Now, we had a deal with Tony Robbins, myself, Stephen Katz, and also a gentleman by the name of Michael Flex Rodriguez. And what happened? I learned how to put myself in the proper state of mind before I walked on fire. Now, last week, you guys heard a bunch of people got burnt, and, at the Tony Robbins firewalk, and that was unfortunate. Well, my point is that when I compete in tournaments, I put myself in the proper state of mind. You see, I do a power move right before I compete. Mr. Bagwell can attest to that. He saw me the other day, and so that's about it. Putting yourself in the proper state of mind is something that's really important. At the same time, following people who've been successful, been there, done that, whatever you do is very smart. To be a top fighter, I follow the top fighters. I learned what they did. And to be a top kicker, I looked at the top kickers at the time, was Keith Vitale and Dan Anderson, and read their books. Then I had a chance to participate in seminars live with, rest in peace, Joe Louis. So my point is that mentorships is always going to be key. Following people who've been there, done that, know how to do things. So in karate, I wanted to become a successful instructor, so I started learning how to teach. And Mr. George, I'm sure, how you doing, sir? Figueroa, he can attest to that simple fact. And bottom line is that success leaves clues. So following people who've been there, done that, and know better is really important. Tony Robbins taught me how to become, in my mind's eye, a successful person beforehand. Even though I did stuff like that before, I honestly believe if I go to a karate tournament, I'm supposed to win. I was born to be a winner. But the fact is that everybody was born to be a winner, except that I know that I can tap into my real, true, honest potential and take it to the next level. As a school owner, I drove myself crazy. Why? Because I wanted to earn income by helping as many people as possible, but I didn't have the proper tools to do it. I would train people that would get in shape, and then a week or two after, they would disappear. So basically, it made me realize that in order to help people, you have to help them when they go home. In other words, you could take, if a person's hungry, you feed them for a day, teach them how to fish, you feed them for a lifetime. Paraphrasing. Anyway, my point is that our intention is to help people, but sometimes we need help. We have to have tools. If you haven't read Unlimited Power or Awaken the Giant Within, Think and Grow Rich, or books like that, or never even heard of them, then you're really at a disadvantage, because the most successful people in the world have always read these books. And in addition to that, participate in some of the seminars. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put a little video tape. Hey, Rooster! I'm going to put a little video tape on my man, Tony Robbins, explaining something that's extremely important, because this is something that, guys, if you follow this, which is what I'm doing, you too can become successful financially. In addition to that, help people, which is what it's all about. Each one teach one, okay? Here we go. And please excuse the technical difficulties.
Tony Robbins,
It's good.
how are you?
I'm doing awesome. How about you?
I'm doing good. I know you are in the midst of a crazy schedule and took a little time out from your business mastery event you're doing here in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Congratulations on what you do with that. I have so many friends that have raved about that program for years.
I'm not sure you guys can hear this really well, but this is Tony Robbins.
I know you've got a lot of stuff going on, and our audience here inside of the networking space,
Yes.
they're passionate about becoming professionals inside of the space, taking their skills to another level. They believe, as I believe, that for the average person, it's just a great option for someone to take charge of their life and become an entrepreneur without a lot of the risks that are typically associated with becoming an entrepreneur. You've been around a long time. You've seen a lot of different things. What are your thoughts about network marketing in general, and what is your thoughts about the decision that people can make to become entrepreneurs using it?
Well, it's interesting. I'm doing this program right now, and I got a room, of a couple thousand people from 44 countries. They're all business owners.
Thank you, Bob.
Some of them are businesses that are approaching $1 billion. Some of them haven't even started yet, right? They're just picking their business. So it's really variety. And one of my goals in that event is to actually get people to not go in business. And the reason it sounds horrible is someone spends $10,000 to come to an event, and I told them up front, some of you are not made for this, because to run a business requires a certain natural capacity and nature, if you would, besides skills that you learn. And it's the ability to handle risk, it's the ability to handle stress, it's the ability to do a lot of different things, and you have to be able to manage finance. Most people, they have some of those skills, and that's why every year 50% of businesses that start are out of business. You look at over any 5-year period of time, 80% are out of business, and over a 10-year period of time, only 4% make it. Now, make it, Eric, doesn't mean that they're making any money, right? That just means they're still standing. 96% fail, and after 10 years, you're set, right? No. Look at Lehman Brothers, right? Around for a century. They combined $1 trillion in revenue over that century, and they're gone. So the world, technology changes, products and services changes, it's so competitive. So to really be successful, it's a really unique situation. What's beautiful about network marketing is you get all the benefits of being an owner, but you don't have to be worried about supply chain. You have to be worried about accounting, especially in the world we're in today. Network marketing used to be a little bit more different, but today with technology, you can know what's happening in real time. The companies have already set up the software, they know what happens. So it's really picking the right company, and there's a lot of great companies in that area. And it's really realizing that you're really a value creator. If you can go out and add value to other people's lives, if you can just introduce people to a product or a service that a company represents that truly is extraordinary, some products and services can't just be thrown up on Amazon. They need the story to be told. And if you found a product or service of that nature, and you got a company that has a generous schedule of being able to reward you, and then you begin to get leverage where it's not just you, where you multiply your efforts to other people, then you get all the benefits of being a business owner without all the headaches and without the same level of risk. And so I think network marketing is amazing. Now, network marketing has a mixed reputation, and we all know that, right, in the marketplace. And, anybody goes out, well, what are you doing? That's where you got to own yourself as a professional. I think that's why I'm supportive of what you do, because you're not just pumping people up. You're giving people real skill sets to be a pro. If you're a dabbler in anything, you're not going to succeed. So I don't think you should have the delusion that net marketing is the way to get rich if you're just going to try it. There's something you got to commit to and say, this is my profession. I'm going to be better than anybody else in this area. I'm going to get the skills and the ability, and I'm going to hone my talents, and I'm going to build my teams, and I'm going to constantly get better. But I don't have to take the risks of starting a business traditionally, and I don't have to be good at all those things that make it so hard for the vast majority of humans never to be able to succeed. And again, in this business, you don't have to wait to start making money. You don't have to hope that you can cover all that overhead. That overhead is being covered by the company. So I'm a big fan of network marketing, always have been, and I think the real thing is making sure you pick the right company and that you continue to grow your skill sets.
The constant, never-ending improvement. What you've talked about for forever.
That's correct.
Right? This concept that you're always going to be getting better at your skills. You're always going to be getting better at your mindset. You're always going to be getting better at how you communicate with your groups, how you're building teams.
Yeah. The challenge is people get into something, anything, and in the beginning it's exciting. Of course it's exciting. You join this new company, you have this new opportunity, you get a new relationship. Even a new job is exciting in the beginning, but then there's the law of familiarity. If you get around anything enough, you start to take it just a little bit for granted. And you just can't do that with your own business. And that's really what network marketing is, your own business. You got to say, this is never-ending improvement for me. And I'm hooked. I'm hooked on this idea that I can get better and better. My income is not limited by my time, because I can now produce results to other people as well. And I don't have to spend my time doing things I really don't want to do, like accounting and shipping and all those other elements. So I think if anybody's listening to this and they're on the edge, if you're on the edge, don't do it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, step up. If you can't step up, it's the wrong thing for you. But network marketing is the easiest that I know of to step up if you become a pro.
Now, you're talking about, in Business Mastery, this is what you're doing right now. You're talking about giving people the best practices of everything that's happening in the world. And from you, and also a collection of experts sharing ideas. Just to entrepreneurs in general. And you're an entrepreneur, wildly successful entrepreneur, and you work with and are friends with many, many of the top entrepreneurs in the world. What are a few of the common attributes of the super successful entrepreneurs that you've seen? That might not be the obvious ones that come to mind.
Oh gosh, I give one example. I was just talking to him yesterday. Mark Benioff's a dear friend of mine, and he runs a company called Salesforce.com. He founded it. Mark went to my Unleash the Power Within event about 15 years ago. He went to it 3 times. It's repetition, some other skill. He immersed himself in it. Again, a pro, not going to be something average. comes up to me and introduces himself and says, Tony, he said, you've changed my life. I'm working for Oracle. I'm leaving. I'm starting this company, Salesforce.com. We're going to change the business world. I'll never forget. So we're going to do $100 million in business. And I was teasing the other night. He's going to do $7 billion this year, right? And I've been on a 15-year journey with him. You know, what do they have in common? They have a sense of something they want to serve greater than themselves. You know, the only challenge sometimes in network marketing, and I think what gives it a bad reputation for some people, is you get people in there that really act like they're doing it for something larger than themselves, but it really is only them. Now, there's nothing wrong with you wanting to profit and be successful, but motive does matter. And the most successful entrepreneurs have a motive that includes themselves, but they want to do something that's going to change the world, make the world different. It's like, you know, when you're trying to meet your own needs, you get a certain level of insight. If you're trying to meet the needs of your family, and you get a different level of insight because life supports whatever supports more of life, more people. If you're trying to support your community, different insight. If you're trying to, have an impact on the world, it's even larger. And I found in network marketing, you find a few missionaries that are like those other entrepreneurs that really is their mission. They'd honestly do it for free. And, they want to make money, and they do make money. But if you're only doing it for the money, the unfortunate part is people sense that, and then they feel like it's just a transaction as opposed to an experience of added value. So only one way on earth to really become wealthy, and that is do more for others than anybody else is doing. And if you can find a way to do that through your vehicle, like network marketing, there's no limit. But people sense what's really driving you, and you can't think it, because people's bullshit meters today are so big, because everything's bullshit. Reality television is bullshit. It's even fake. So if you can just be raw and real and connect your mission, that is not to say that you're not going to benefit. Hell, I'm fortunate enough now. I got 21 companies. I got 12 I actively manage. We're approaching $6 billion in revenues this year, and I'm a guy that started out, in a 400 square foot bachelor apartment in Venice with no business background. But what has been my driving force is every industry, every company I've into, it's like I'm on a mission to create massive improvement and change. And I don't just say that shit. If you want to know who I am, you don't have to watch how my lips move, watch how my feet have moved for 3.5 decades. Actually 38 years now. I started when I was 3, I think, something like that. But that's it. Find your mission, find a motive greater than yourself, and ironically, you will be do incredibly well yourself as well.
Yeah, I found that same thing's absolutely true.
All right, guys, so check this out. If you notice what he said was, every time he immersed himself in the industry, well, I'm immersing myself in network marketing 100%. Why? I love to help people. I've shared with the majority of people for free for years. Whether it was back in the days to teach you how to kick with the lay-down kicks or blitz or angle to repositions, never asked you for a penny, never charged you a dime. At karate tournaments, I help people learn about how to run successful karate school. Also, again, I never charged you for a penny. I didn't ask you for a dime. And now, I'm trying to say this. The majority of you guys are literally out of shape. Financial shape and mental shape. I see you guys trying to teach, but your teaching skills are not up to par. You haven't learned the neurolinguistic programming like George or Jorge Figueroa said. You haven't learned how to communicate yourself. How is it that I could go to tournament after tournament after tournament and win? It's not my skill set. It's my psychological skill set. I conquer my mind and my body follows. I conquer other people's mind and their body follows. So if you own a martial arts school, you're only working about 5-6 hours a day. 4 hours a day, you can work on helping people for real when they're on their way home. In other words, you train people really well in the class, and when they go home, they eat a freaking cold pork chop and almost kill themselves from a heart attack. You want to help people defend themselves? It's not going to be from what would be. Anyway, you know what, guys? I'm going to stop right now because when it's all said and done, you know what the deal is. The deal is you got to take action and change approach. Otherwise, you're going to keep getting the same exact results. And don't make no freaking excuses. You're freaking fat and broke for a reason. Change approach. Chances are 4th of July weekend was a big weekend for you to do what? To pollute your body again. And then you're going to cry that someone else is able to do things and you can't. But no one wants to hear that crap. I don't want to hear it. You don't hear my sob stories. Go, yeah. Get off your assets. A, B, see ya.